Who sells the best jollof rice in Lagos? Now that's a question that could start a civil war. But what if I told you we're not just looking for the best, but the biggest? Who is the undisputed king or queen of jollof in a city of over 20 million people? We're talking about the person who has turned this iconic dish into a massive empire. Today, we are going on a delicious journey to uncover the story behind the biggest jollof rice seller in Lagos. To find our answer, we have to talk about one name that echoes from the streets of Surulere to the high rises of Victoria Island, Olamilekan Lekan Adebayo. But you probably know him by a different name, the name of his legendary brand, Jollof King. Now, Lekan didn't just wake up one day with a crown on his head. His story is one of grit, flavor, and some serious business savvy. It all started in a small, bustling kitchen in his family home in Ikea. Lekan wasn't born into a wealthy family. His mom, Mama Aid, was locally famous for her party jollof. You know the type, that smoky, firewood-cooked goodness that makes you forget your own name. People would literally book her months in advance for weddings and naming ceremonies. Lekan grew up watching her, not just cooking, but managing everything from sourcing fresh tomatoes at Mile 12 Market to making sure every single grain of rice was perfectly coated in that rich, red sauce. He learned the secret from her. It wasn't just about the ingredients, she'd say. It was about the spirit you cook with. The love, the patience, the timing. He absorbed it all. But Lekan had a vision that went beyond just catering for local parties. He saw the potential for something much, much bigger. After finishing his university studies in business administration, everyone expected him to get a fancy corporate job. But Lekan had other plans. He took his life savings, about 200,000 naira, and instead of buying a car or renting a nice apartment, he invested it all into his mother's recipe. He bought a few industrial-sized pots, got some branded takeaway packs, and started a small delivery service right from his mother's kitchen. He called it Jollof King. The first few months were tough. Really tough. He was the chef, the delivery guy, the customer service rep, everything. He would wake up at 3 a.m. to start prepping, cook all morning, and then spend the afternoon on his Okada, zipping through the chaotic Lagos traffic to deliver orders himself. He faced skepticism. Some people thought, why would I order jollof when I can make it at home? But Lekan had a secret weapon, consistency and that authentic party jollof flavor. His jollof was different. It had that signature smoky taste, the perfect balance of spice and sweetness, and the rice was never mushy. It was the real deal. He focused on office workers in places like Ikaya and Victoria Island. He knew they were busy, craved a good meal, and would appreciate the convenience. He started by giving out free samples. He'd walk into office buildings with a warm pot of jollof and let people taste it for themselves. The strategy worked. The taste was irresistible. Word of mouth started to spread like wildfire. Have you tried Jollof King? Became a common question in lunchrooms. The orders started pouring in, first dozens, then hundreds a day. He quickly outgrew his mother's kitchen. He rented a small commercial kitchen, hired his first few staff, and streamlined his process. He was obsessed with quality control. Every batch had to taste exactly like the one his mom used to make. The real game changer for Jollof King was social media. Lekan understood the power of Instagram and Twitter in Lagos. He started posting high-quality, mouth-watering photos of his jollof rice. Close-ups of the glistening rice, the steam rising from a freshly opened pack, videos of the cooking process. He ran fun campaigns like Tell Us Your Best Jollof Memory and gave away free meals. He collaborated with popular Lagos food bloggers and influencers who genuinely loved his product. His brand became an online sensation. The hashtag JOLOF King started trending. People weren't just buying food. They were buying into a story, a brand that represented authentic Lagos culture. He made jollof cool and convenient. Suddenly, Ordering Jollof King for a team lunch or even a small get-together at home became the new trend. From one small kitchen, Jollof King expanded rapidly. Leakin opened his first physical storefront in Surler, and the queues were insane. People would wait for over an hour just to get a plate. He designed his outlets to be clean, modern, and efficient, a sharp contrast to the typical roadside bucas. This attracted a wider range of customers who valued hygiene and a pleasant experience. Within 5 years, Jollof King had over 15 locations across Lagos. From Lekki to Festac, you are never too far from a Jollof King outlet. But how did he manage to scale so quickly without losing that authentic taste? That's Leakin's genius. He standardized the recipe and the cooking process. He created a central kitchen where the unique spice blend and tomato base were prepared in massive quantities. This base was then distributed to all the outlets daily. This meant that whether you bought Jollof King in Ikoyi or Ikorodu, you were guaranteed the exact same delicious, smoky flavor. He also invested heavily in training his staff, not just to cook, but to understand the brand's commitment to quality and customer service. He treated his employees like family, paying them well and offering opportunities for growth. Many of his initial hires are now managers of his various branches. Today, Jollof King sells, on average, over 10,000 plates of jollof rice every single day in Lagos alone. That's a staggering number. If you do the math, that's over 3.5 million plates a year. And that's not even counting his booming catering service for large-scale events and corporate functions. He has a fleet of delivery bikes and a seamless online ordering system. He's essentially created the McDonald's of jollof rice, but with soul. Leakin's story is so inspiring because it is a testament to the power of a simple idea executed with excellence. He took a beloved traditional dish and built a modern, scalable business around it. He didn't reinvent jollof rice. He just made the best version of it accessible to everyone, everywhere in Lagos. He respected the tradition he inherited from his mother while embracing modern business strategies. So, who is the biggest jollof rice seller in Lagos? The answer, without a doubt, is Olamilekan Leakin Adebayo, the founder of Jollof King. He's not just a cook. He's an entrepreneur, a visionary who saw a kingdom in a grain of rice and went on to build it. He has created hundreds of jobs and has put smiles on the faces of millions of Lagosians with a simple, perfectly cooked plate of jollof rice. And the best part? He's not done yet. There are talks of expansion to other Nigerian cities, and even internationally. Imagine being able to get a plate of authentic Lagos party jollof in London or New York. It all started with a mother's recipe and a son's dream. It just goes to show that sometimes the most powerful empires are built on the simplest of things, like a shared love for a delicious meal. So next time you're in Lagos and you see that iconic crown logo of Jollof King, you'll know the incredible story behind it. It's more than just rice. It's a story of passion, perseverance, and the delicious taste of success. What's up, food lovers? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a dish that's more than just food. It's a cultural icon, a source of national pride, and a potential billion-dollar industry. We're talking about the one and only jollof rice. So, what exactly makes this seemingly simple dish of rice, tomatoes, and spices so special? Why does it spark passionate debates online, with Ghanaians, Nigerians, Senegalese, and others all claiming their version is the best? Let's break it down. First, let's travel back in time. The story of jollof rice begins not in Nigeria or Ghana, but in the ancient Wolof Empire, also known as the Jollof Empire, which spanned parts of modern-day Senegal, the Gambia, and Mauritania. The dish, originally called thibu dien in the Wolof language, was born out of necessity and ingenuity. It was a way to create a flavorful one-pot meal using locally available ingredients: fish, rice, and vegetables. As trade and migration spread across West Africa, so did the recipe for this delicious dish. Each region adapted it, adding their own unique twist, substituting ingredients, and creating the variations we know and love today. So in a way, everyone's jollof has a common noble ancestor. The name itself, Jollof, is a direct nod to its Wolof origins. Now, let's talk about what's in the pot. The base of any good jollof rice is what I like to call the Holy Trinity. Rice, a rich tomato and pepper base, and a carefully guarded blend of spices. The rice is crucial. Long-grain parboiled rice is a popular choice because it holds its structure and doesn't get mushy, allowing each grain to soak up the flavorful sauce beautifully. The sauce or stew is where the magic really happens. It's typically a blend of ripe tomatoes, red bell peppers for sweetness and color, and fiery Scotch bonnet or habanero peppers for that signature kick. Onions and garlic form the aromatic foundation. All these are blended into a smooth, vibrant puree. This base is then simmered down, often with additions like tomato paste for a deeper color and flavor, and a medley of spices like thyme, curry powder, ginger, bay leaves, and sometimes even a hint of nutmeg or star anise. The key is to cook this base until the oil separates, a sign that the flavors have melded perfectly and the raw taste of the tomatoes is gone. This process, my friends, cannot be rushed. But what truly elevates jollof from just seasoned rice to a culinary masterpiece is the cooking method. The rice isn't just mixed with the sauce. It's cooked asterisk in asterisk the sauce, absorbing every single drop of that flavorful liquid. This is what gives jollof its distinctive reddish-orange hue and its deep, complex taste. Some cooks even create a deliberate, slightly burnt layer at the bottom of the pot, known as bottom pot or party jollof smoke. This smoky flavor is considered the holy grail of jollof rice for many connoisseurs. It's that little bit of char that tells you this isn't just any rice. It's an event. Now for the big question. The Jollof Wars. Nigeria versus Ghana is the most famous rivalry. But don't forget, Senegal, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Cameroon all have their own incredible versions. So what's the difference? Nigerian jollof typically uses long-grain parboiled rice, which results in firm, separate grains. The flavor profile is often bold and smoky, with a deep red color from the rich tomato and pepper base. Ghanaian jollof, on the other hand, often uses a more aromatic rice variety like jasmine or basmati. This gives the dish a softer texture and a fragrant aroma. The spice blend can be different too, often featuring ginger and a unique mix of local spices. The color might be a bit more orange than deep red. Then you have Senegalese jollof, or thiboudien, the OG. It's often considered a more complex dish, typically cooked with fish and a variety of chunky vegetables like carrots, cassava, and cabbage, making it a complete meal in one pot. The flavor is savory and umami-rich, often using fermented ingredients. These differences might seem small, but to West Africans, they are everything. The Jollof Wars are more than just friendly banter. They're a celebration of cultural identity and culinary heritage. It is a way for people to connect with their roots and share a piece of their home with the world. So, how does all this translate into a billion-dollar industry? Let's look at the numbers and the trends. First, the global diaspora. Millions of West Africans live abroad, and they carry their love for jollof with them. This creates a massive built-in market for jollof rice, whether it's homemade, from a restaurant, or a packaged mix. It's comfort food, a taste of home that people are willing to pay for. Second, a rise of African cuisine on the global stage. Foodies and chefs worldwide are finally waking up to the incredible diversity and flavor of African food. Jollof rice is often the gateway dish. It's accessible, it's delicious, and it has a great story. We're seeing it on menus in high-end restaurants in London, New York, and Dubai. Celebrity chefs are putting their own spins on it, and it's a star at food festivals everywhere. This global exposure is driving incredible demand. This leads to a booming cottage industry. All over the world, home cooks and small entrepreneurs are building businesses around jollof. They're selling platters for parties, offering catering services, and even launching their own lines of jollof sauces and spice mixes. Think about it. A pre-made jollof sauce that cuts down cooking time but delivers authentic flavor? That's a game changer for busy families and curious non-African food lovers. These small businesses are the backbone of the jollof economy. Furthermore, large food corporations are taking notice. We're starting to see mass-produced jollof rice seasonings, frozen jollof meals, and even instant jollof rice packets hitting supermarket shelves. Brands are investing millions in research and development to capture that authentic taste in a convenient format. When big players like Nestle, through its Maggi brand, heavily market jollof-specific seasonings, you know the market potential is enormous. The economic impact doesn't stop there. Think about the entire supply chain. The demand for long-grain rice, tomatoes, peppers, onions, and specific spices creates opportunities for farmers and suppliers, both in West Africa and globally. Packaging companies, logistics providers, marketers, and restaurant owners are all benefiting from the jollof boom. And let's not forget tourism. Food tourism is a huge industry, and jollof rice is a major draw. People travel to West Africa specifically to experience the culture and, of course, to taste authentic jollof in its homeland. Festivals like the Jollof Festival, which takes place in cities around the world, draw huge crowds, generating revenue and promoting cultural exchange. So, when you add it all up, the diaspora market, global culinary trends, the cottage industry, corporate investment, the supply chain, and tourism, it's easy to see how jollof rice isn't just a dish. It's a powerful economic engine. The billion-dollar label isn't an exaggeration. It's a reflection of its massive and still growing cultural and commercial value. Jollof rice is a symbol of celebration, of community, and of resilience. It's a dish that brings people together, whether it's for a family dinner, a wedding, or a lively online debate. Its journey from the Wolof Empire to global stardom is a testament to the power of food to cross borders and connect cultures. So the next time you take a bite of that smoky, spicy, perfectly cooked jollof rice, remember, you're not just eating a meal. You're tasting history, culture, and a delicious piece of a billion-dollar story. What's your favorite way to eat jollof? And which country do you think makes the best version? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What if I told you that one single dish could be the key to your own food empire in 2025? And that dish is the one, the only, jollof rice. Yes, you heard me right. That vibrant, smoky, spicy, and utterly delicious West African staple isn't just a party favorite. It's a golden business opportunity waiting to be seized. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how you can become the jollof rice king or queen of your city. Stay tuned, because this isn't just about cooking. It's about building a legacy. First things first, what makes jollof rice so special? It's more than just rice and tomatoes. It's culture, it's celebration, it's a fierce debate between Nigerians, Ghanaians, and Senegalese about who makes it best. This passion is your marketing power. People are already emotionally invested in this dish. Your job is to give them the best version they've ever tasted. So step 1, perfect your recipe. I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel, but you need a signature jollof that stands out. Are you going for that classic party-style smoky flavor? Or maybe a gourmet version with unique spices? I spent months testing my own recipe, experimenting with different types of peppers, broths, and even the bottom pot technique to get that perfect smoky char. You need a recipe that's consistently amazing, one that people will crave and talk about. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback from family, friends, and especially people who know their jollof. Be open to criticism. Is it spicy enough? Is the rice fluffy, not mushy? This is your foundation, so make it solid. Now that you have a killer recipe, where do you start selling? Forget about opening a fancy restaurant right away. That's a huge financial risk. The secret to building a food empire in 2025 is to start small and smart. Think pop-ups, food festivals, and farmers markets. These are low-cost ways to get your product directly in front of customers and build a buzz. I started by doing a weekend pop-up at a local market. The first day, I sold out in 3 hours. The feedback was immediate and powerful. People were taking pictures, posting on social media, and asking when I'd be back. This is where you build your initial customer base and test your operations on a small scale. While you're doing pop-ups, you need to be building your brand online. This is non-negotiable. Your brand is more than just a logo. It's the story you tell. Why are you passionate about jollof? What makes your recipe special? Use platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Post mouth-watering videos of your cooking process. That sizzling sound of onions hitting the hot oil, the vibrant red color of the stew, the steam rising from the finished pot. This is sensory marketing. Show happy customers enjoying your food. Run a fun poll. Nigerian or Ghanaian jollof. Engage with the community. Your social media is your digital storefront, and it's open 24/7. Okay, let's talk about the menu. While jollof is the star, you need a strong supporting cast. What do you serve with it? Classic pairings like fried plantain, grilled chicken, or suya are always a win, but don't be afraid to get creative. How about jollof rice arancini balls or a jollof burrito? These unique items can become your signature sellers and generate a ton of social media buzz. Keep the menu small and focused at first. It's better to do 5 things perfectly than 20 things poorly. A simple menu also means faster service, which is crucial in a fast-paced food stall environment. As the demand grows, you'll face your next challenge, scaling up. How do you go from cooking for 50 people to cooking for 500 without sacrificing quality? This is where systems come in. You need to standardize your recipe. I'm talking about exact measurements. No more, a little bit of this, a dash of that. Every batch has to taste the same. You might need to invest in bigger pots, commercial-grade burners, and maybe even your first employee. This is a critical step. Don't be the bottleneck in your own business. Learn to delegate. Hire people who share your passion for good food and train them well. Your first hire is your most important. It will help you shape the culture of your company. Once you've mastered the pop-up game and have a steady stream of income, it's time to think about the next level. This could be a food truck, a ghost kitchen, or even your first brick-and-mortar location. A food truck gives you mobility, allowing you to go to different neighborhoods, corporate parks, and private events. A ghost kitchen is a fantastic low-cost option that focuses purely on delivery and takeout. You can leverage apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash to reach a massive audience without the expense of a physical storefront. This model is exploding in popularity for a reason. It minimizes risk while maximizing reach. Let's talk money, because a passion project doesn't become an empire without smart financial planning. Track everything. Your food costs, your labor costs, your packaging, your marketing spend. What's your profit margin on each plate of jollof? You need to know your numbers inside and out. Set clear financial goals. How much do you need to sell each week to be profitable? When can you afford to hire your first employee or buy that food truck? Don't just cook with passion. Run your business with precision. There are tons of simple accounting apps that can help you with this. Don't be intimidated by it. Knowing your numbers gives you power. Another key to scaling is building partnerships. Collaborate with local influencers. Cater a lunch for a big office in your city. Partner with a local brewery for a Jollof and beer night. These collaborations expose your brand to a whole new audience. Think about who your ideal customer is and where they hang out. Then go to them. Don't wait for them to find you. Be proactive. Building a network is just as important as perfecting your recipe. Every connection is a potential opportunity. And finally, never stop innovating, but never forget your core. Your jollof rice is the heart of your empire. As you grow, there will be temptations to cut corners, to use cheaper ingredients, or to rush the process. Don't do it. Your reputation is built on quality and consistency. Your customers come to you for that specific, amazing taste. Protect it at all costs. The moment you compromise on your core product is the moment your empire begins to crumble. Stay true to the dish that got you started. So, there you have it. The blueprint to building a jollof rice empire in 2025. It starts with a perfect recipe, grows through smart, small-scale sales, is amplified by a strong online brand, and is scaled through solid systems and strategic partnerships. It's not easy, but it is absolutely possible. The world is more curious and hungry for authentic, flavorful food than ever before. So get in that kitchen, perfect that recipe, and start building. Who knows? By this time next year, you could be the reigning Jollof king or queen. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on building your food business. Let me know in the comments what dish you think could build an empire. See you in the next one.